All right, after 5 years of lifting, I've definitely gone through my highs and my lows, but today I'm gonna give you everything that I've learned throughout my fitness journey. So it all started in 2020 during the COVID-19 lockdown. I was basically super out of shape because all sports were canceled. I had absolutely nothing to do fitness-wise. I was not getting in any exercise. We were all basically locked inside. We couldn't even really gather with family. So one day I really noticed going up the stairs, and we have a small flight of stairs. I was so winded and I was like, man, this is brutal. I'm like 14 and I'm going up the stairs and like panting. So I decided that, you know what, if I'm stuck inside all the time and I don't really have very much to do, I might as well force myself to get jacked. Now at the start, I knew I really didn't have the accountability to stay consistent with it. So what I did is I actually told my mom to take away my Xbox and my phone every single day I didn't do a workout. And it was pretty funny because during lockdown, those are like the only two things that you can do. And that's where you can talk to all your friends, is playing Xbox. So for about 3 months straight, I didn't miss a single workout. I worked out every single day in my house. And to be honest, I had no clue what I was doing. At one point, I was doing a 20-minute workout, and I'm pretty sure I was doing like 15 minutes of abs, and then I don't even know what I was doing the rest of the time. It ended up working out because I actually did improve my cardiovascular system in that time somehow. I don't know how. I wasn't even really training cardio exactly. And by the end of it, I also had a pretty dicey set of abs. I'll actually pull up a picture right here. As you can see, I was 14 and I was absolutely shredded. I was lean, but I was shredded. So once the gyms opened back up, I connected with my buddy, and after we worked out at his house, because he actually had a little bench and a little bit of a workout area, we decided, you know what, let's just try the gym. So for like the first 6 months to even a year, we were hitting the gym. We didn't really know what to do. We weren't doing anything optimally, that's for sure. Like our rep range probably wasn't that great. The exercises we were doing, definitely not very optimal, and we were super weak. But the point is that we got there and we did it anyway. And from the first year of me working out, that's definitely one thing I can take away from for sure. Just get in the gym. You don't have to know absolutely everything the first year or first time you go and work out. Just get in the gym, start doing stuff, start trying stuff out, and use your resources. That's probably one of the most important things that I've learned, is that, man, we live in an era where we can look up anything. We could look up how to freaking take an engine out of a car off of YouTube. So who's to say that we can't find the most optimal bicep curl or tricep exercise or whatever? So definitely use your resources, especially if you're a beginner. All right, so it's my second year in the gym. I've now got somewhat of a routine. It might not be the most optimal routine, but I've definitely got a routine. And the best part about the second year is because I have some sort of valid routine, I'm seeing insane progress, and this is all because of newbie gains. At the start of your fitness journey, especially lifting, if you know somewhat what you're doing, or you've got some sort of routine from the start that's somewhat optimal, you're gonna see absolutely insane progress. And this is exactly what was happening. But the takeaway from this year, the thing that I learned this year, was definitely about muscle imbalances. My chest has definitely always been my weakest point, but by the end of the year, I realized this, and I was like, man, seeming my chest is so small, I better be putting more effort into it so that it catches up with the rest of my body parts so it doesn't look all weird. I realized that if I wanted to have a good physique, I needed to figure out which muscles were the weakest and the smallest. The size part is important because obviously physique-wise, you're going for looks. All right, now by my third year in the gym, I'm pretty experienced, so I have a good idea of which exercises I like doing and which exercises I don't like doing. So that was a big takeaway from year 3, is I realized that finding exercises that might not be the most optimal, but are still pretty optimal, if you like those exercises, just do them. Who cares if it's not the absolute best science-proved method of training that muscle? If it's a movement that you really enjoy doing, just do it. Who cares what other people say? You're gonna have a way better time in the gym and a way more enjoyable experience doing exercises that you like than doing exercises that you absolutely hate, but you might get a little bit more muscle growth from. All right, so in my third year of the gym, I also realized that me and my buddy who I started with, we were seeing a lot of people around us that were our age, but they weren't seeing nearly as good results. And I realized this is due to our intensity and our rep range. So we were doing a rep range between about 5 and 12 on some exercises, but I'd say around 5 and 8 on most exercises. And a lot of these other people were doing a rep range like 10 to 30 reps per set. But the biggest thing about that is that they weren't going to failure. And I think failure is just so important because those last 2 reps where you're just barely getting it out are like the most important for muscle and strength development. All right, so my 4th year in the gym, that is this year right now. 5 years in fitness, 4 years in the gym. What I've learned this year, and I've actually just recently learned and I'm still learning about, is actually about food and about calorie intake. In the past little bit, I've really learned the importance of tracking calories and protein, or I guess macros, while bulking or cutting. You are able to bulk and cut without tracking calories, but I've realized that if you track it, it's so much easier. You'll gain muscle way more consistently, way faster, and you'll lose fat way faster if you just track your calories and watch what you're eating. That's by far the biggest thing I've learned this year. It's a huge learning curve and there's so much to learn in nutrition, but I do think it's so important. I'm actually taking my personal training and nutritionist course right now as we speak, so I can learn a lot more about it and then also educate others to improve their diets and to improve their workouts as well. The last thing that I want to mention is that if you're looking for motivation to get fit, or you're looking for motivation to get absolutely jacked, whatever it is, motivation will start you off, but discipline is gonna keep you going and it's gonna get you to the finish line. It's gonna get you to where you wanna be, because there's a lot of days where we wake up and we just don't wanna go to the gym. There's a lot of days where it's even inconvenient to go to the gym. But if you just do it anyway, you're gonna reach your goal so much faster. All right, so I've written down all of the takeaways from this video and I'm just gonna read them off. At the beginning of your journey, it's okay to not know what you're doing. So use your resources such as YouTube and the internet to figure out how to do what you're supposed to do properly. And eventually you'll perfect it and you'll find your own way of doing things. Number 2, once you find exercises that you love, stick with them. I mean, you don't have to stick with them forever because that might not be optimal for muscle growth, but stick with them as long as you can. Try to enjoy your workouts. An enjoyable workout is gonna be so much better than an optimal workout that you can't stand doing. All right, number 3. The best balance between muscle growth and strength gaining is found in the rep range of like 5 to 12. This is from personal experience, so you don't have to do exactly this if you find something that works better for you, but this is what I learned. And the last thing that I forgot to mention earlier is cardio. I don't even do cardio, I'm not gonna lie with you. I don't do cardio, but it is important and I know it's important, so I encourage you to do cardio, even if you're on a bulk. You're just gonna have to eat a little bit more. I really hope this video helped all of you in some sort of way, whether you actually learned something or maybe you just got some motivation from it. And if you enjoyed this video, then definitely leave a like and feel free to comment things that you've learned in your experience in the gym.